Have you ever found yourself regretting words spoken in anger or sharing a secret you shouldn't have? As we grow older, it becomes clear just how much power our words have in shaping relationships and maintaining peace. In today's video, we'll uncover 6 words and phrases you should avoid in any situation, practical wisdom to help you protect your bonds, foster trust, and bring more harmony to your life. Stick around until the end, and if you're finding this helpful, comment below with the city you're watching from. Like this video and subscribe for more life-changing insights. Let's begin with one of the most common mistakes people make: letting anger control their words. 1. Do not speak harsh words in anger. As we grow older, the weight of our words becomes clearer. Anger, like a storm, can come on suddenly and leave lasting damage in its wake. At this stage of life, relationships, whether with family, lifelong friends, or even community members, are more precious than ever. Yet, how often do moments of frustration lead us to say things we regret? Perhaps it was during a disagreement with a spouse about long-standing habits, or a moment of impatience with a grandchild who didn't follow instructions. These situations, while small, can grow into larger divides if anger takes control of our words. Imagine this. A family gathering is in full swing. The room is filled with laughter, but one small misunderstanding, maybe about a forgotten favor or an old grudge, sparks a sharp comment. The atmosphere shifts, and the joy fades as hurt replaces it. This is a scenario many older adults can relate to. The regret that comes from realizing a cherished moment was overshadowed by careless words. The consequences of speaking harshly can be especially profound for older adults, as these later years often bring reflection on the bonds we've built over a lifetime. Hurtful words, even those spoken unintentionally, can linger in the hearts of loved ones, creating rifts that are harder to repair with time. Relationships built over decades deserve protection, not harm. Beyond the emotional pain, harsh words can also lead to isolation. Loved ones may withdraw, unsure of how to approach conversations that once felt warm and supportive. For older adults who often rely on close relationships for connection and joy, this isolation can be deeply painful. But there's good news. Restraint is a skill that grows with wisdom. Choosing silence or a measured response in moments of anger doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It's a way to honor your relationships and your peace of mind. When anger rises, try this. Take a deep breath and count to 5. If you're still upset, excuse yourself from the situation, take a short walk, or sit quietly and reflect. These small actions can prevent words you'll regret and preserve the harmony that's so essential in your golden years. Think of this as protecting your legacy. Harsh words can overshadow the kindness and love you've shown over the years, while silence and understanding show the emotional maturity and wisdom that only come with age. Now that we've explored how anger can harm relationships, let's turn to another critical practice: respecting the privacy of others. 2. Do not gossip or share private matters. At any age, trust is the foundation of meaningful relationships, but as we grow older, this trust becomes even more vital. The bonds we've built with family, friends, and neighbors are treasures that bring comfort and joy. Yet one of the quickest ways to damage these bonds is by gossiping or sharing private matters that aren't ours to tell. Think about this. A friend confides in you about a health concern or a family issue. They trust you to keep it private, but in a casual conversation, you mention it to someone else without considering the consequences. Perhaps you didn't mean any harm, but when the news gets back to them, the hurt can run deep. They might feel betrayed, questioning whether they can confide in you again. Gossip doesn't just harm the person being discussed, it also tarnishes the trust others have in you. For older adults, sharing private matters can have an even greater impact, as our relationships often revolve around close-knit families or communities. A single breach of trust can ripple through these circles, causing unnecessary conflict or alienation. Imagine the disappointment of realizing that something personal you shared in confidence has become a topic of discussion at a family gathering or among mutual friends. The embarrassment and loss of trust can be difficult to overcome. There's also the risk of being misunderstood. Gossip often distorts the truth, leaving room for misinterpretation. A small comment can grow into an exaggerated story, creating drama and unnecessary tension. For those in their later years, where peace and understanding should be priorities, this kind of stress is an unwelcome burden. The solution is simple but powerful. Think before you speak. When someone shares something private with you, treat it like a treasure, holding it close and protecting it. If you feel the urge to discuss someone else's matters, ask yourself, is this my story to tell? Would I want someone to share this about me? By choosing to stay silent about others' private matters, you not only preserve their trust, but also strengthen your own character. People will see you as someone they can rely on, someone who values relationships over momentary chatter. This is the quiet strength that reflects true wisdom. Now that we've explored the importance of keeping private matters private, let's discuss another common mistake: making quick judgments about others. 3. Do not judge others hastily. As we grow older, we realize that first impressions can often be misleading. Yet, the habit of judging others too quickly is something many of us struggle to avoid. Whether it's based on someone's appearance, behavior, or a single action, jumping to conclusions can lead to misunderstandings, strained relationships, and even missed opportunities for connection. Imagine this. You see a neighbor who rarely speaks to anyone and keeps to themselves. It's easy to assume they're unfriendly or uninterested in building relationships. But what if they're simply shy, or perhaps they've recently faced a personal hardship? Without taking the time to understand their story, we risk forming unfair opinions that can distance us from others. Hasty judgments don't just harm the person being judged, they also limit our own perspective. As older adults, many of us take pride in the wisdom we've gained through life's experiences. However, when we judge others hastily, we deny ourselves the chance to grow further in empathy and understanding. Often, the stories behind people's actions are far more complex than they appear. For example, there's a well-known story about a parent who grew frustrated with a doctor's delay in arriving for emergency surgery on their child. The parent lashed out, only to later learn the doctor had just left their own child's funeral to save the patient's life. This moment of clarity transformed the parent's anger into deep remorse and respect. While extreme, this story highlights a universal truth: we never truly know what someone else is going through. The same applies to everyday situations. Perhaps the cashier at the grocery store seemed short-tempered, or a friend didn't return your call. Instead of assuming the worst, pause and consider what unseen burdens they might be carrying. This simple act of patience can prevent conflict and foster compassion. When you resist the urge to judge, you open the door to understanding. People feel safer and more valued in your presence, knowing you'll give them the benefit of the doubt. This is the kind of grace that reflects the wisdom of age, knowing that everyone deserves kindness, even in moments when they seem difficult to understand. Now that we've discussed the importance of holding back judgment, let's turn to another key principle: the value of humility over boasting. 4. Do not boast or exaggerate. As we grow older, many of us reflect on the value of authenticity. The lessons we've learned over the years often teach us that actions speak louder than words, and boasting or exaggerating only undermines the respect and trust we've worked hard to build. True confidence doesn't need to be announced. It quietly shines through in the way we live our lives. Think about a time when you encountered someone who frequently boasted about their achievements, possessions, or experiences. At first, it might have seemed impressive, but over time, their words likely began to feel hollow or insincere. Exaggeration often erodes credibility, leaving others questioning what's true and what's fabricated. For older adults who have spent decades cultivating relationships and wisdom, this kind of doubt is unnecessary and avoidable. Boasting doesn't just affect how others perceive us, it also creates an unhealthy cycle of comparison. For example, consider a conversation at a family gathering where someone embellishes their success to impress others. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy or resentment among listeners, turning what should be a moment of connection into one of competition. For those of us in our later years, these comparisons are especially harmful, as they shift focus away from what truly matters, the love and support of our family and friends. Instead of boasting, let your actions do the talking. A quiet but consistent display of integrity, kindness, and accomplishment speaks volumes. Think about how inspiring it is to meet someone whose life is a testament to their character, not because they proclaim it, but because it's evident in the way they treat others. This quiet confidence is a hallmark of wisdom and maturity. If you ever feel the urge to boast, pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to prove? Do I really need to say this? Often, this reflection reveals that true fulfillment comes from within, not from others' validation. By focusing on humility and authenticity, you earn respect that is lasting and genuine. In the end, the most meaningful legacy isn't built on words, but on the impact you've had on the lives of others. Choosing humility over exaggeration not only preserves your integrity, but also strengthens the bonds you share with those around you. Now that we've discussed the importance of humility, let's explore another critical habit to avoid: using words that harm someone's honor. 5. Do not use words that harm someone's honor. As we age, we come to understand that words carry tremendous power. They can build bridges of understanding or burn them down in moments of carelessness. This is especially true when it comes to words that harm someone's honor. Once spoken, such words can't be taken back, leaving scars that often take far longer to heal than we realize. Think about a moment when a sharp remark or a careless insult left you feeling belittled. Perhaps it was during a family argument or an exchange with a close friend. The sting of those words likely stayed with you, affecting how you saw yourself or your relationship with the person who spoke them. For older adults, who often cherish deep, long-standing connections, the harm caused by dishonoring someone with harsh language can be especially painful. Words that damage honor don't just hurt the person on the receiving end, they also reflect poorly on the person who speaks them. Imagine a conversation where someone uses cruel language to criticize another, thinking it shows strength. Instead, it often reveals insecurity or a lack of control. Over time, such behavior can push loved ones away, leaving the speaker isolated and misunderstood. The consequences of dishonoring words can ripple through relationships. A single harsh comment might create lasting tension within a family or cause friends to pull back. For older adults, who often act as the anchors of their families, these rifts can disrupt the harmony and support networks that are so vital during this stage of life. The good news is that we always have a choice. Instead of using words that harm, choose words that heal. When faced with a difficult situation, pause and reflect before speaking. Ask yourself, will this bring us closer together, or will it push us apart? If necessary, take a moment of silence to regain your composure. A kind word or even an apology, when warranted, can restore trust and repair relationships. Remember, dignity and respect are mutual gifts. By honoring others with your words, you also uplift your own character. In your later years, this approach ensures your legacy is one of kindness and wisdom, a legacy your loved ones will cherish and emulate. Now that we've explored the importance of honoring others with your words, let's discuss the value of respecting yourself by avoiding unnecessary explanations. 6. Do not waste effort. Explaining your sincerity. As we grow older, one of life's valuable lessons becomes clear. Not everyone will understand your intentions, and that's okay. Trying to explain your sincerity to those unwilling to see it often leads to frustration and emotional exhaustion. At this stage of life, your peace of mind and self-respect are far too important to waste on futile explanations. Imagine this. You've done something kind for a family member or a friend, but instead of gratitude, you're met with doubt or criticism. You try to explain your intentions, hoping they'll see your heart, but it feels like speaking to a wall. The harder you try, the more distant they seem. This cycle of misunderstanding can leave you feeling unheard and undervalued, chipping away at your emotional well-being. For older adults, these moments can be particularly hurtful. We've lived long enough to know the effort it takes to nurture relationships, and when those efforts are questioned, it can feel like a personal failure. But here's the truth. Your sincerity doesn't need to be proven. The people who genuinely care about you will see your intentions through your actions, not your explanations. When faced with doubt or skepticism, choose calm over conflict. Instead of trying to convince someone of your sincerity, focus on maintaining your integrity. Let your actions speak for themselves, as they often carry more weight than words. Over time, people who truly matter will come to recognize your authenticity, and those who don't were never worth your energy to begin with. This isn't about giving up on relationships, but about prioritizing your emotional health. Constantly trying to justify yourself can create unnecessary stress and even resentment. Instead, channel your energy into what brings you peace, whether that's spending time with supportive loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply enjoying the quiet moments of your day. By letting go of the need to explain your sincerity, you reclaim your inner strength. You show the world and yourself that your worth isn't defined by others' opinions. It's defined by the kindness, honesty, and wisdom you carry in your heart. As we've seen throughout this journey, the words you choose have the power to shape your relationships and your life. Let's wrap up with a final reflection on how these lessons can bring more peace and meaning to your days. As we reach the later stages of life, we come to understand that the words we speak hold immense power. They can nurture love, trust, and harmony, or they can create pain and distance. By avoiding the 6 common mistakes we've discussed, speaking in anger, gossiping, judging hastily, boasting, using dishonorable words, and over-explaining our sincerity, you can protect your peace, deepen your relationships, and leave a legacy of kindness and wisdom. Life is too precious to spend on regrets or misunderstandings. Instead, focus on the values that truly matter: respect, empathy, and authenticity. When you choose your words carefully, you create an environment where both you and your loved ones can thrive. Which of these lessons resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring advice to make your golden years the best they can be. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.